Go ahead and officially call the meeting. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and officially call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We have one item to add to the agenda. We thought we were gonna discuss it in executive session, but we need to discuss it openly, and that is the Grapevine project. So if I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda with that addition, unless you all have anything else you want to add.
So moved.
All right, that was Mr. Lawrence.
Second.
Mr. Wilson, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That was unanimous, okay? All right, next item on the agenda is the approval of the December 11th minutes. Everything looks to be in order. So if you all agree, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
I approve the minute.
All right, that was Ms. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Righty. We have a financial update from our finance director.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is your financial update for the month of December 2025. I always start out with my cover sheet. Does everybody have their packet?
Yes.
All right, starting out with the cover sheet. I start off with your operating cash, and also on the cover sheet, I have the operating revenue as well as operating expense. The operating cash, your beginning budget with the three accounts that you have is $7,326,560. Your beginning balance, but beginning budget. Your ending balance between those three is $7,313,005. You had deposits of $13,335, which you had withdrawals of $26,860. Operating revenue, you budgeted your operating revenue at $8,690,500. To date, you have year-to-date actuals of revenue coming in was $3,003,904. Your operating expense, you budgeted at $4,229,050. Year-to-date average of the operating expense was $389,046 for the month of December, giving you an ending balance of $3,664,588. You do have an encumbrance of $175,417. I've also in the packet, I have included the bank statements. I've also included with the first bank statement, I've included a copy of the checks that went out for the month of December. You can see in your packet that you have copy of the checks correlating with the checks that went out. There was only two that was printed. I've also included in the packet is from Encode, the listing of all the EFTs that went out that correlate with the bank statement also. You only had 3 EFT, which is electronic fund transfer. Basically, on the bank statement, it would say ACH settlement. Also in the package, I included copies of the POs that went out for the EFTs. I've included the second and the third bank statements. Also in your packet, I have also included 2 statements from Georgia Fund 1. The first one is Beginning balance for Georgia Fund One is $17,837,007. You had earnings and reinvestment of $57,521.41. We gave you a new balance, $17,894,629. The second account in the Georgia Fund One with beginning balance of $30,534,228. You had earnings reinvested of $98,467. Gave you a new balance of $30,632,695. Last part of the packet is the printout of the revenue to expense report from our encode that gives, that makes up the operating revenue and the operating expense. Does anybody have any questions in the statements?
Just give us a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments? Yes.
What they like be? So, hello? Oh, yes, so the light bills that are on there are for the park at Fort Gillum, and the reason why they were paid from our department is because the bank accounts weren't open yet, and we needed to keep that service on. So I went forward and paid it. But now the bank accounts should be open, so it won't be that way, right?
No, it won't. You,
Yes.
you won't see that again.
Okay.
So that it'll go through, and then that would be, good catch. That would be, part of the, Bank of America. So it'll go through Bank of America. And, the update with that, we're just waiting on Bank of America, letter from the lawyers, but everything's a go. So they'll be in good shape.
All right, any other questions?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
All right, and before we go any further, I forgot, I wanted to introduce our new mayor, Madam Mayor, Mayor Butler. I'm sorry, Mayor Butler, Mayor Ellison. Mayor Ellison, would you like to say anything to the board? Okay, what?
I just came in to listen in.
Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
so much for having me.
Yes,
And I look forward to working with all of you.
yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you all know our interim chief, our interim city manager, and of course, you know our council person, Councilwoman Gunn. I don't know, I think everybody knows. Okay, all right, thank you. I'm sorry. May, I wanted to do that earlier. I appreciate that. All right, so the next item is our old business. We have an update on our URA boundary expansion. And also the park at Gillum.
Yep.
You can continue with those.
Good evening and Happy New Year, everyone.
Good
Don't
evening.
have a whole lot to talk about with the URA strategic plan and our boundary expansion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse
yes,
me.
ma'am.
Did we do roll call?
We
Oh,
did not.
God, I'm just
We
all
just got all
messed
excited and ahead of
Hey,
ourselves,
let's just officially do the roll call. Miss,
please.
y'all help me out here. Having one of those days. Go ahead, do the roll call. Present.
Jeffrey Wilson, Deborah Patrick, Melanie Carter, Elliot Lawrence.
Here.
I apologize for that. Oh my goodness. See how you rolled in here on two wheels. As
Right.
always. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Go
So
ahead.
you're fine. So where we are now, and I will defer a little bit to Attorney Matricardi. But right now, we did reach out to TSW, our partners who have worked with us on the boundary expansion. The maps that we have of our existing boundary and our proposed expanded boundary are a little hard to read. They're a little small, even with my glasses and magnifying glass. So we have gone back to them to see if they can do a little bit of cleanup and produce something that's bigger and a little bit easier to read. So I don't know if if Al was able to talk to Gia today. There's been okay.
So just to remove the critical, the ABC areas. So for the map amendment, we just need to see the actual boundaries, not just focus on the critical areas. And so that way you can actually see what's being expanded versus.
And that is all that I have on the URA boundary expansion at this time. Are there any questions? No?
No.
All right. Moving on to the park at Fort Gillem. So a couple of things as Director Wiggins, there he is. Director Wiggins said we have gone forward with the two bank accounts that we needed to have set up with Bank of America. One is the general operating account for the park at Fort Gillem. The other is a non-interest bearing account that basically will be the escrow security deposit account. We are in, I believe, now the final bit of the setup. So hopefully by next month's meeting, you will no longer see the light bill coming out of our bank accounts, and that will now start to all of the expenses for the park at Fort Gillem will run through the Bank of America account. The other issue that we have determined is the lift station or the pump station. This has been a known issue, and I've learned all kinds of stuff about sewer today. So the pump station has not worked properly in over 25 years. And basically the way that it is, because the property sits low, it is never drained properly, in addition to the lift gate never working at all. And the sump pump does not work. And apparently the understanding is that it has not worked in over 25 years. So the prior property managers, when it got full, would basically call in like a roto-rooter type service to come and drain it. So they were operating it like a septic system. It's not a septic system. That's not what it's intended to do. So there is a issue, which everyone was like, surprise. It backed up and overflowed and created all kinds of issues, as you can imagine. That immediate issue has been addressed. So they all have, I just got an update, phone's over there, from our property management team that they do have Cross, I believe, is the vendor that they've been working with, who is the most intimately knowledgeable of the station and how to repair it and what all the issues are. They have done the initial emergency remediation, but there is also, needing to address either replacing it entirely and putting in an entire new system, so mitigate it forever and ever and it be done, or do some critical repairs, basically not just coming in and cleaning it out, but doing some repair work. They have an assessment that they're doing right now. He will have a further detail for me first thing in the morning. And then I can share with you what our options are. But right now, the estimate, and again, this is not a final estimate, but ballpark numbers, it would be at least 150,000 in repair costs, in addition to when the parts are no longer in warranty, what does that look like? But an entire new system could be anywhere between $250,000 to $500,000. So that's where we are right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question was, is there any other research that we could do uh within the city or county that would that we could get for free that um
I'm not,
We
I
could-
know where you're
yeah.
going with this. So I did reach out to my.
Other than what the company could give us that
So
we,
I did reach out to my buddy Bernard Franks. He hates to see me calling over at the Water Authority to be like, do you have somebody that can at least give me some guidance and a second opinion? You know, we'll see what the Water Authority says. This is kind of, because it is private property. I'm just asking for do me a solid and let me know if we're being fleeced or not. I am confident that we're going to have to do some measure of serious repair work more than what has been happening up for the past 25 years.
Question on my water bill at the house, I pay stormwater
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of
Mm-hmm.
equal to the amount of water coming in.
Correct.
Have we or they been paying stormwater charges all these 25 years?
I believe so. Do you, Ms. Clay? Yeah, we have not. Now, we do, I will say, for some of our other properties, and definitely for some of our other properties at Gillum, we do receive a stormwater bill from Clayton County Water Authority that we do pay. But for the park at Fort Gillum itself, I have not, as of yet, seen a stormwater bill. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because
Yeah,
it
I'm
hasn't
sure it
come to
does.
us as of yet.
And sometimes it's just included on the regular bill
Correct.
too. It might
Correct.
not be separate. But I did see that y'all did a quite large payment to Clayton County Water. It's water and sewer. It may have included in that. I don't see the
Mhm.
invoice, but
And we can definitely go back and, Ms. Clay, if we can go back and pull the actual invoice, and I can tell you exactly what the breakdown is of that bill.
So
Service. Seems like there should be some free compensation or something. Good luck, though.
Right.
So we do have the company that they hired to
Correct.
assess.
So we're in the very, very final phases of the initial site assessment. They've basically done ground up and looking at everything. So they are now done with their visual inspection. They've looked inside the building, outside the building, top, down, inside and out. They are finalizing the report. I was really hoping that we would have had it by tonight's meeting. Unfortunately, they say they need a little bit more time. As soon as I get it, I will send to you so you have it in advance of next month's meeting, because that report is going to, I anticipate, is going to guide some of our most critical repairs and allow us to start to prioritize what has to happen first. And I'm sure, as our construction experts back here will tell you, it's going to be infrastructure.
Okay.
So that is it. Any questions about the park at Fort Gillum?
Everybody still happy over there?
For the most part, well, the sewer issue would not make anybody happy, so
Yeah. Most of the comments that I've gotten has been pretty positive.
same.
They are they were concerned about the banking account, of course, because we haven't gotten that established yet, and having to pay a fee to do their checks because of the bank account. But once we get that remediated, we should be good.
Yeah,
with
because
that
they
order.
will, as soon as we get it's on, they will have a, what do you call the thing? Check reader? They'll have an on-site check reader at the front office. So for those people that don't want to pay through the app or go to, someplace and pay at the CVS or whatever, they can still write a check directly. It will just go through the electronic check reading system right there on site, and then go from there directly into the bank account.
Awesome. Any other questions? All right, we're gonna go along with our economic development updates in new business. That's you again.
So in no particular order, when we last talked at our last meeting, we talked about or you requested a URA retreat. And I want to get a little bit more guidance from you in terms of what that URA retreat looks like. The last time we did it, it's been over a year now. We did it June, July. We actually did it in Mr. Freeman's co-work space up there on Main Street. My recommendation in terms of dates, and we will send out an actual poll to come up with a date. Right now, we're looking at potentially March or May. So we're trying to give us a little bit of time and kind of doing this in a time that doesn't overly compete with holidays and vacations and a bunch of city events. So in terms of the retreat itself, is there any preference in terms of location, where you go, day-long retreat? Give me a little bit of guidance so we can start to pull some structure together.
Well, I'll speak and then you all can chime in. I would want to do something where we can actually kind of relax together for a day, maybe, as well as get information. So it could be something staycation somewhere in
Mhm.
Atlanta somewhere or
Okay.
whatever. But that would be my preference. I don't know what you all feel.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So would this be potentially a Friday evening, Saturday?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
What do you all think? What do you think? Oh, okay. Well, your husband can come.
She's like, okay. All right, so we will
Still
take that.
vacation for your husband.
We
too,
will
you
go
know.
back and look at
You won't
some.
separate. You won't, you know,
Yeah,
you
no,
have,
you can
the
come
room
too.
will be by yourself, you know, so.
Yeah, okay, fine. We will come back to you at next month with some conference center options in, close in the metro area and some potential date options. I reached out to Catherine Lakovsky again, who did our last training, our last URA retreat, to see her availability. And we'll start to draft an agenda from there. And then we are going to go forward with your polos. We heard you. So we'll give you an option of long sleeve and short sleeve before you leave, if I can get everyone's shirt size so we can go ahead and place your order. Ms. Carter, we are ordering your the thing that keeps falling off, the Padfolio thing that keeps falling off. Couple other things. The EV insurance, we do have reached out to our Brian Murdoch, who provided the insurance synapse, did the environmental insurance for Gillum for us in the past. He's working on numbers for us. We're still way early. Our policy doesn't expire until the end of June, but I've asked him can you put this together sooner rather than later so we have a time to look at it, and then also to take it to market to compare some other options. I want to give a quick update on the sampling and the Stevens Lake geotechnical evaluation. It's here somewhere. Here we go. So he has, here it is. Too many piles of paper. So the evaluation is done. The report is being finalized right now. They did, if you'll be reminded, the old fire station at Gillum is the only place and in Gillum that was not part of a brownfield program. Don't know why. So they went out right before Christmas, did the soil sampling so that we can now have that part of the brownfield program as well. And then additionally, they were doing the geotechnical evaluation and sampling of the Stevens Lake Dam. So they are submitting that stuff. I actually have a check-in with Mike Monteleone on Monday. And I think we are good to go. But they have the sediment sampling for Stevens Lake. There's really nothing of note to share. That's a good thing. Like I said, we've connected on the environmental insurance. And then the last thing, sorry, was looking at the actual repair itself of Stevens Lake. The sediment sample report, like I said, should have back in about a week. We do need to consider the Oasis's 2026 contract, which I do have. We tabled it at our December meeting. We can table it. This one is actually not on the agenda. We can review this at next month. They'll be fine. But they have submitted a proposal to us in addition to their annual proposal and what their on-call services, specifically around the design plans and the engineering work for Stevens Lake Dam. And so I will have that over to you, and we can consider them all in a group at our next meeting. And that is it with that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so pull up my, and I don't have a whole bunch to talk about this evening because hopefully everybody enjoyed their holiday. So this is, okay. So, first, unfortunately, she could not be with us this evening, but you will meet her at next month's meeting. You may have already gotten an email or a phone call or a text from her, but we have a new staff assistant. She started on Monday. Her name is Devalda Lamartineri. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I was close. Just, yeah. Devalda. She's fabulous. You will love her as much as we do. For our Main Street update, we are working through, excuse me, the finalization of our Main Street event calendar, as well as our full calendar of all of our economic development events and initiatives. So what we will present to you, there are a couple of internal meetings that we need to have to make sure that we're not butting up against some other people's stuff. At next month's meeting, I will have for you a full calendar of any and everything that our department does in terms of events or special initiatives. The light pole banners. Okay, I promise I'm not a liar. Okay, so they have been paid their deposit. They are starting to fabricate the banners. Hopefully by early spring, you should finally now see the new light pole banners going up. Next slide. In, just changing how we do what we do and, allowing people different opportunities and ways to engage with our office and making it easier. Less words, more pictures. So we have it's not a newsletter. We do have a newsletter that's coming, but basically we have a sign-up sheet and where we ask people, what do you need from us? And so just to synthesize and make this a little bit easier, we will be producing these cards that we can add to our development packs, have on our website, et cetera, et cetera. If you scan the QR code, it gives you a couple of options of things that you can pick. I need help starting a business. I want to do a ribbon cutting. Can you help me with my trash, et cetera, et cetera. So look for those coming soon. Couple of quick things around economic development updates. Our first Forest Park Business Association breakfast right now is scheduled for January 29th. It will be at 696. Look for more details on that coming soon. Our first Business Association breakfast of the year is always a introduction to our city services. So we bring everybody and allow people an opportunity to get your questions answered. It's also an opportunity, and we would love, I haven't made this an official ask yet, but I'm gonna put it on record right now, that we would love to have our new mayor attend that first Business Association breakfast, give her an opportunity to speak, meet and engage with our business community as well. Couple of department updates. Hopefully you have seen some of the property signs on Main Street, particularly along Main Street and Forest Parkway. It's working. Our phone is ringing. We do have more. So now that, like I said, Public Works would not let me go out there with a mallet and just start bamming stuff in the ground. And, we now have a process. In the next month or so, you will see more at the properties that we own a little bit more in the interior parts of the city, like Robin Lane, Conley, et cetera, et cetera. Workforce development, real quick. We're part of a Clayton County workforce collective that has pulled everybody together in the county that does anything around workforce. We have now a deepening relationship with Georgia Power and their workforce collective, which is fabulous because they can pull all these super fancy, really expensive reports for me for free. So excited about that. And then also a relationship starting with Career Ready ATL. The great thing, Career Ready ATL is a program that the United Way of Atlanta runs. They are looking to expand to Clayton County. And I was like, well, I've got the perfect place for you to come and do it. The exciting thing about it is that they also have we call it an internship, they call it an apprenticeship program. So as we're looking at creating an internship, apprenticeship, extraship, whatever you want to call it for the city, we have an opportunity to partner with them on that and allow them to bring some of those resources so we don't have to create the wheel all over again. And that feeds well into our trade pathways job fair that we are planning. When did we say we're doing this? Do you remember? August, in August of this year. So we do our traditional job fair in June-ish. It's over the summer. I just remember it being really hot. And then we'll look at a trade pathways, really for our youth, particularly for those young people that don't want to go to college. College is not an option for everybody, nor does it necessarily need to be. Keep going. Couple of other things, keep going. Already talked about that. Couple of our updated development opportunities. So we have one pagers that we do basically on all of our properties. And so I spent some time over the holidays doing a little bit of cleanup, have added at least an initial starting point for our Forest Parkway project as we figure out how we want to move forward and take that to market. Keep going. Couple of other pending projects. We have the Cherry Street development, the 6 single-family homes that Mr. Freeman with Technique Concrete is building and is almost done. Close to being done. Again, if you haven't driven by, go drive by Cherry Street and take a look at it. Not a whole lot of movement as of this past month. It's been quiet. Like I said, it was the holidays. Keep going. And in terms of business retention and expansion, 80 acres, as I mentioned before, that is the vertical hydroponics company that has moved into or is moving into the old Calera building out at Gillum. So happy to see that building come back online. At Work is a new, and they're in Ward 2, Mr. Bernard Solomon. It's a staffing agency, more of a professional staffing agency right down the street here on Forest Parkway. We have a flurry of ribbon cuttings that you will see happening right at the beginning of the year, or really within the next couple of weeks. We had a meeting yesterday with the shoe trend. I'm excited because he told me that he had 9,000 pairs of shoes in his shoe store. So we're actually going tomorrow to go look. So I'm going to report back about all these shoes. We're going to do a little recon before the ribbon cutting. And then again, of course, still always working with our state partners, with the Department of Community Affairs, Aerotropolis, Atlanta, on more of our larger scale statewide projects. We do have one that literally fell in my lap this afternoon. And I'm trying to find him, 20 acres that he can build out at Gillum. So I'll keep you posted. I'm doing a little bit of maneuvering. Keep going. And I'm going to stop. Yeah, we can keep going. I promise we were going to make this a quick meeting because y'all know once I get going, it's hard to make me stop. All right. So I'm going to stop there. And are there questions?
Exciting stuff.
Now, lots of exciting stuff. Lots of really, really good stuff.
So one question I have is, I know that we no longer have a representative that we have approved to be on the POA.
The POA,
board.
yes.
So that's something that I want to consider. I don't know how your plate is full, how your plate is.
I will be there. You tell me you want me
But,
there, I'll be there.
But we need someone to
we do
represent
need
us
some-
on
we
the
need a
POA.
representative.
You all know what the POA is, right? You can.
Yeah, so the POA is the Gillum Property Owners Association.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't necessarily they don't meet every month because their bylaws, or they have to meet as needed. So they meet, every couple of months or so as needed. So it's not a super heavy lift, but it's been a while since we've had a Forest Park representative on that board.
And so I will also take an opportunity to speak with Mayor on it as well, to kind of get your input on it. And you can kind of fill her in on what the POA does. And the reason we have a continual position on there is because of our previous board years past. I think Steve Bernard was on the board, that we need to have a Forest Park representative on this board. And so we have a standing position on that board, even though now we don't technically own the majority of the property.
Do you want to talk about our exchange for the officer?
Oh, you go ahead.
So we have Attorney Matricardi, hold me honest if I get the details mixed up. So we provide a dedicated officer, Forest Park officer, if you will, as a resource that patrols the area. In exchange, we do not pay the annual assessment that is assessed to all of the other property owners at Gillum. So that's kind of our mutual exchange, and it's been mutually beneficial. We've done it for over a year now,
Yeah.
going on 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Going on 2 years.
So, that's something that we need to, consider because we definitely don't want to
2 officers, thank you.
not have
Yep.
a representative
Mhm,
representing
mhm.
our city's interests on that board. All right, is that everything?
Mhm.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so now on the agenda, we have the grapevine. Now, you all know that we have been blessed to acquire the property from, well, I shouldn't say acquire, but whatever the word is, get the property from the city so that we can move forward with the build out. So I asked Mr. Freeman to come because when we did a RFP, Technique Concrete was the lowest bidder. And so I asked him if he would be able to honor the contract that the bid was for, and he said he would. So, Mr. Freeman, if you could step on up to the hot seat, and just share out the project and the cost and all of that.
Before you get started, Mr. Freeman, I've made copies of what the previous bid was that was submitted. I did not make one for everybody because it's very big. I'm being conscious of the people, so you may have to.
Now, is this the updated bid? Is this the
Share.
one that's
I'm not sure if that's what I have is the most up-to-date
Is
one.
it
If it's changed.
3.5 or is
The
it-
last one was June 2nd, 2025.
so this one is January 6th.
That's right. So no, I
Mhm.
don't.
Okay. So, but it's probably pretty standard, but go ahead.
Yeah, yes, and I said I would try to keep that price the same because, there's a couple things that's gonna be out of my control as far as the pricing, and that is all that restaurant equipment you guys got. That was a year ago when that was priced. And I actually have pricing sheets for it and equipment list, so you can actually buy the equipment yourself, cause I want to be since we're gonna do it this way, I need to be 100% open book with you guys. You need to see what it costs, and then we can always put something in for the installation. And if you choose for me to purchase equipment, that'll be an item, that would have to be purchased early in the project if it was to go forward. I talk so loud anyway. I won't talk to them. Okay. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward project, but it is extremely nice because every one of the guys who I was working with on this project is, and y'all actually gonna build this in Forest Park, from the lighting packages in this place to the restaurant equipment. It is unbelievably top notch. It's even nicer than the little one that we did over on Moreland Avenue. It's really upscale for the neighborhood right now. It's the future. But as far as your pricing go, I should have pricing on your restaurant equipment by the end of hopefully by middle of next week for the restaurant equipment and the lighting. That's the only true really variables we have, because I can't control that stuff. A year ago, I don't know tariffs, and restaurant equipment is something that you don't buy all the time, and that's stuff with the really long lead time. But other than that, the project it's pretty straightforward. I think your bill date is, I think you're giving a little too much time. It was like 240 days to substantial completion and 270 to complete. I think that's a hair long. I think that job can be done in probably around 5 or 6 months. And I don't know how pricing affect on that, but I think all the guys who priced it outside of me, my my subcontractors, they priced it for that long time. I think that's way too much time. It shouldn't take that long to do it. But other than that, I can get you the pricing back on some of the long lead items, the lighting and the electrical, but everything else is pretty much straightforward. And if, there'll be any price increases besides the restaurant equipment and the lighting, it'll be very minimal. Cause I want it built more than anybody.
So right now, we're looking at, right around 3.5 million, with the updated equipment, but again, we have to consider what the prices, like he said, of the equipment is gonna be, the restaurant equipment. But one of the things that kind of, brought this into my mind again is I was talking to, Mr. David Seagrass of, John's Fines Food, well, it's John's Southern Cooking now. I think it changed the name. But I was telling him the idea of having a Taste of Forest Park event where we bring all the businesses in that serve food or whatever, sort of like we do in GMA where they have a Taste of Savannah. And he said, well, the Grapevine would be a great place to host that. And I thought, oh, well, we got to get the Grapevine built. So, I don't know, Attorney Matricardi, what would be the proper way to go about just, if the board agrees to just move forward with Technique Concrete doing the work? What would be the proper, well, first of all, let me ask the board, what are y'all thoughts on moving forward?
I like his passion for it. I think that's important.
I didn't like the fact that he wants it like I want it to, so.
All right, so, Attorney Matricardi, what would be the proper?
Percent concrete yet.
Mhm.
The underlying number, 2.8, is that still the same?
Well, it was
Out the.
without the,
equipment.
without the equipment, 2.8 without the equipment, yes. Mhm.
And then, once they price out the equipment, come back for that, the remainder
Okay,
for the picture.
okay, yes.
Ms. Freeman, where is this equipment made? Are the tariffs going to be a factor?
I'm not sure. We had our first quotes that came from, a local vendor up in, Marietta. And his, we have his price and that price. I think I got the price in here. Hold, yeah, I have the pricing right here. It was it was over on, up in Norcross at City Discount Restaurant Equipment. And the pricing back then was right at $300,000 for the equipment. And, that was the price that they quoted to us back in, I don't know why I keep taking these off. Can't see a thing without them. That was in January of 2025. That's a year ago, and that's before all the other stuff happened. And we have some, you have a really, really nice lighting package in it. But I think I can get with the city guys on, as far as, these prices. I'm sure by next Tuesday or Wednesday, we can have solid numbers so we know exactly what we are.
The restaurant equipment probably been made overseas, offshore.
Most of it, all this high-end stuff is. You have some cheap, most of the American stuff is a little cheaper. And it's, I'm not sure. I'm kind of sure why you wanted the good stuff, because if you're spending that much money on that building, I hope you got a plan for it after it's built, because it's gonna be a really, really nice building. And if you, use stuff for what the finishes you have with the epoxy floors and the wall finishes, you kind of, this is the kind of, it's gonna be a showcase place. So I can see why you didn't really have, because you probably could take $70,000-$80,000 off. But if you're gonna spend that much money on the building, in the end, $70,000 probably ain't a lot of money. And hopefully, because a lot of the tariff stuff went up 6 months after we bidded this thing, and a lot of that stuff has come back down. So hopefully we can keep it right where it is.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, so, may I have a motion to approve, was it 2.9? Or how, the construction of, the Grapevine by Technique Concrete with the, help me, please. You see me struggling.
A motion to enter into a construction contract.
Yes.
with Technique Concrete in the amount of $2.88 million.
Okay, did you get that on recording? Okay, all right, that was Mr. Lawrence and second by Ms. Carter. Any other discussion?
They beat me to the punch. Mouth got stuck. No, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you.
Well, what we can do, I'll work on the contract and then, we can do a change order or do include the additional.
Okay, okay. Now, do we have to come back to the table for the additional, okay,
Yeah. Depending on the price.
okay. Awesome. All right,
And all the equipment comes late in the project.
awesome. All right, get to work. No. All right, and we do not have to go into executive session, right? All right, so any other closing comments? All right.